skills for more, the channel which helps you see from first place how services are provided. Project created to help fantastic services to simply be the best.
Hi team, I just parked. Today we're gonna do pest-proofing job about rodents. Customer apparently has the issue with mice being in the house. He already used our pest control services. Today we're gonna provide pest-proofing service, and hopefully we're gonna find the solution for him. Okay, let's go. So what we're gonna do here, unfortunately the wind was very strong, so I'm forced basically to do over voice. Well, here I'm showing all the tools which I'm gonna collect and I'm gonna bring upstairs. In the reality I brought 2/3 of the tools. Okay, I'm in the property now. This is one part of the tools. This is the other part of the tools, and we have more tools in the car. So what we're gonna do today, as you can see, we have U-shape kitchen. It's called U-shape because it's closed from 3 sections, like the U, letter U. So we're gonna start opening one by one each unit, find where is the openings, close them, and hopefully this will sort this customer. Okay, let's start. We're gonna use these knee pads. We also gonna use heavy duty gloves, so we can work nicely without hurting ourselves or making ourselves dirty. We're gonna start removing one by one the units, clean, and put them back. Having the correct PPE is very important part of the job. I cannot just use any gloves. They need to be heavy duty ones, but in the same time to be slim, so I can still do a fine work. Here I'm putting knee protectors. These knee protectors will help me later on when I'm on my knees working under the cabinets. Now, as you can see, I start from one corner. I put the washing machine. Here I'm showing how the pipes and the cables are going behind the cabinets, and technically I don't have more freedom to pull the machine, so I'm gonna need to find a way how to disconnect it safely, and this will potentially allow me to pull it more. Here I'm assessing the situation and discovering how I can disconnect the machine. Now, in a little bit, I will show you the most important parts which have to be disconnected when removing such machines. This pipe is the waste pipe, and over there is the clean water pipe. So I'm gonna need to disconnect the waste hose, but before that I'm gonna need to clean the cabinet. Here I have cleaned already the cabinet, and for example, mice can easily enter from there and from there. So we're gonna need to find what is behind the cabinet, but in order to do so, I'm gonna need to remove fully the washing machine. So we're gonna start with the waste pipe hose. I already disconnected it. The problem with that one is you have to keep it upright, otherwise it's gonna start leaking and smells disgusting. The clean water supply, we're gonna just turn it horizontal when the water is stopped, and I'm allowed to disconnect the pipe. Now here I've done already this. I haven't put all the pipe work fully. This is for later on, so I can easier install back the machine. What I discovered here is that some of the bolts are not being properly connected, or actually they were missing, which is a no-no, because this is a big problem, and potentially the customers can have issues with the electricity. Here on the back, I'm showing that the cabinets actually don't touch the wall, so you have a gap between the back of the cabinet and the wall. Over there on the bottom you can see clearly 2 centimeters gap, the gaps actually go all the way behind the kitchen cabinets. So here I'm gonna use my multi tool with sharp blade, which will allow me to cut the back of the corner, or to be more specific, the side. So I'm gonna start cutting it now, but before that I'm gonna need to see exactly where the back of the cabinet is finishing, because I don't want to damage the front of the unit, I mean the inside of the unit, which can be visible when the door is open. So here I'm trying to estimate how deep I can cut. If you look carefully, I have put special protections in my ears. This will allow me to cut safely without damaging my hearing. And here I'm using a ruler, which will help me mark exactly where the back of the cabinet is finishing. I already found where is it, thanks to my fingers behind the side wall, but I still need the ruler just to mark it. And I'm gonna use now a spirit level just to make a straight line. So this way, when I use the multi-tool, I won't damage anything further. Now, it's very important when we provide such cuts to be extra cautious and to don't go with full power. The reason is that the cabinet side is as deep as 2 centimeters, even less than 2 centimeters. And if I'm not careful, I can easily damage the pipework of the washing machine in this case, or something else which is hidden and I'm not able to see. And believe me, there is plenty of situations which I experienced when I cut side panel or back panel. There is always something hidden, unfortunately. Uh, just this is the nature of that work. In order for us to close all the openings, we gonna need to create openings. Here, as you can see, the pipes are coming from the wall. This is the hot and cold water, which are connected to the sink above and to the washing machine. Now, I'm gonna come closer so you can understand better what exactly is happening behind the cabinet. Now, you can see it's a clean cut just behind the back of the cabinet. The pipes are going straight into the wall. The wall is made of plasterboard, dot and dap, which means basically it's being glued on the wall behind the plasterboard. Now, the problem with that one is that you don't have any insulation and mice can nicely move in between the walls, I mean between the plasterboard and the wall. Now here, we're gonna need to remove the kitchen plinths in order to gain more access under the rest of the cabinets. And here I'm demonstrating the huge gap under the plasterboard and how dirty is under the cabinets. Obviously, before I start doing anything, I'm gonna need to clean properly, otherwise I'm risking to get infection or get sick. Now, you have to understand that these pests are constantly living under the cabinet, so there is plenty of droppings, they pee there, and every time I try to clean with my wobbly Henry, I need to push my hand inside, which very often gets scratched from the surface either of the floor or the cabinet, or in that case, the tiles. And this can basically make me sick eventually if I don't prepare the surface correctly before the actual service. Now you can see here I'm trying to take as much as possible dirt with the hoover. We collect all the droppings, spider webs, dust which is being left there from the time the actual kitchen is being made. Now, after I cleaned this under that cabinet, I'm gonna need to continue cleaning under the other cabinet. Here I'm gonna prepare my suction tool. I'm gonna clean it with antibacterial wipes, pretty much make it wet, which will go to the kickboard. But before that, I'm cleaning also the kickboard. The reason for this is to create a perfect suction, because most of the times the plinths are dirty and it's very difficult for me to remove. Now, in this case, I couldn't remove it because if you look carefully, you'll see that there is a screws, and these screws, uh, yeah, I didn't see them first when the print didn't come, so I come away. Basically, I realized that something is holding it up. Now, I managed obviously to remove the plinth from one side. Now I'm gonna pull the middle one. As you can see on the right hand side, there is a heater under the cabinet. It's a old-fashioned thing. They don't make them anymore, or at least I don't see them in the new kitchens, but they still exist. Now, I managed to remove the middle section. Before I removed it, of course, I saw that it's been cracked. If you see closer to my fingers over there, it's a crack just above the heater. The customer was advised that once I remove the heater, the plinth will break. He was fine with it. So yeah, I removed it. Here I'm gonna test the electricity. So I know it's switched off. I'm gonna use my contactless pen. This is not the proper way of checking electricity, but because I don't wanna work with the electrical equipment, um, I can do that. If I need to fully disconnect it, then I'm gonna need to use different tools. Now, here, I hope you can see what kind of disgusting situation I'm finding myself in. So, um, the team before me, they installed, I mean, they put their baits. The baits didn't look eaten, so most probably whatever pests are been there, they're most probably gone or died. Now, this is good because there is no new pests. Now my job is to clear everything, make sure it's clean underneath, to discover all openings and start closing them. Here I'm demonstrating how I cleared absolutely everything. There is no more dirt. The poison, the baits, I'm not throwing it away. So after the work, I'm putting it back under the cabinet, just in case there is still pests somewhere in the property and they're used to coming back to the kitchen. Obviously, I'm leaving them there so they can eat from the poison and eventually die. Now, here I'm trying to demonstrate something else, how the cabinets are connected to one another. I won't be able to remove the cabinets because they don't have legs, but I will show you something else. So it was easy for me to remove the drawer because of the mechanism. I simply had to pull the drawer to the end and then tilt it a little bit. This will allow me to remove the drawer as I did. Once I removed it, as you can see, I have a proper access to the cabinet. Here on the right hand side, you can see screws. If you're a real professional, you're gonna put these screws behind the hinges so they're hidden. Obviously, the people which fit this kitchen, they didn't care that much. Here on the corner, sometimes the kitchen fitters use L-shaped brackets, like that one over there and that one on the right hand side. So the problem when there is such brackets is that we are unable to remove the cabinets. So the best way of providing the work is to remove the cabinets. By the way, these openings on the top, this is the joint bolts for the worktop. As you can see here, we call them male and female because obviously they join together and they create invisible line. I'm trying to demonstrate it here, but obviously because of the pattern of the worktop is very difficult to show it, but you can see it's a perfect corner and the line just um, melts together with the rest of the worktop, so it's very difficult to see. Now, What I'm gonna do here, I'm cleaning the washing machine on the top. This is a standard procedure. When we are removing the machines, we are hoovering them, cleaning them, and wiping them, because most of the times pests are walking over them and peeing. Like in this situation, you can see marks. These marks are either from water which leaked through the sink, or a pest has been on the top and they peed on the top of the machine. Um, from the beginning of the video, you can see that it's not been that dirty, but once I wipe it, clearly shows that it's full with bacteria and dirt. It's very green. So yes, we wipe all the machines on the sides, on the back, on the front. And here I'm showing you that I'm gonna use a wire wool. The wire wool looks like that one. So the reason why we're using wire wool is because the mice cannot chew through it. It's hurting their gums. I'm gonna cut the wire wool with scissors, and I'm gonna use this bended screwdriver to fit it into the hose. For holes which I cannot reach, I'm gonna use this roller bow and obviously my antibacterial wipes. Here, I decided to remove the back of the cabinet. The back of the cabinet was installed after the work, but obviously to properly seal this opening, which the original um, kitchen fitters did, I had to have full access. And as earlier I mentioned, I'm unable to remove the cabinets because they don't have legs, and I don't have any opportunity of removing them safely without damaging something further. So here I'm remove the back cabinet, and I'm installing different type of metal mesh, which is larger. It's not like the wire wool, and it looks more like a snake skin. So what I'm doing here, because I'm unable to use cement where pipes are present, otherwise I'm risking to cause further damage in future, we are applying a fire foam, and this fire foam will help me to glue these metal bits to the actual pipes and also to the back of the plasterboard. This way I will stop any pests, mice, rats, whatever, to enter from there. Here I'm spraying with cleaner. This is acetone cleaner, which kills or melts basically the foam when the foam is still fresh. So as you can see, I'm not creating any dirt or nothing ugly. So I'm gonna continue patching the holes until I'm sure that nothing can enter from there, and then I will be able to continue further to our journey of pest proofing the property. Here you're gonna see a few pictures before, after. Basically I applied foam and the foam expanded, and this is the final result. Now here I'm demonstrating an inspection door. So this is a corner cabinet. It's impossible to be removed. So here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create opening in the side of the cabinet. The customer is already advised and he gave me permission for it. And here is the final result of this hose. I already cut it, and you will see more hidden gems behind the cabinet. So the pipes, they continue and they go in this boxing, and the white pipe on the bottom, this is the waste pipe. As you can see on the right hand side, there is a huge opening. This boxing contains all the pipe for the flats above and below this particular flat, which means all mice or pests are moving through there and they're entering in all the apartments. Unfortunately, we are coming to an end of this video. I couldn't manage to take more pictures or content for the video. However, here you can see I applied the metal mesh the steel wool in the openings. I will close them later with cement. This way I can properly seal all the openings and the pests won't be able to enter into the property. Now, after I do this, I'm gonna spray under the cabinets with a special killer agent, which will kill all the bacteria and droppings or markings left from the pests. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.